Welcome to Zombies to Aliens. This is a special podcast where we're going to be talking about Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, we were going to have it spoiler-free. Yes, we can add Ultrons. But now, we're going to spoil the freaking heck out of it, because everyone saw it, and we're just going to spoil it because we can't stop talking about it already. So with me, as always, is Miss Valissa Valen. Our answer to She-Hulk. How about that?
She-Hulk. Okay, I guess so.
I couldn't think of any women Marvel characters.
I know, right? Welcome to my world.
Jean Grey, I guess. I like Jean Grey. Miss Marvel. I hope they make a Miss Marvel movie eventually.
We need some black women in Marvel.
Eat Storm.
Yeah, but
that's one. Like, there we go. ...
One. Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so after Miss Melissa is Mr. Tyler, our answer to Bruce Banner.
Yay. Or, I mean, Tyler Smash.
You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
I need a lullaby now.
Yes.
He buys his pants in bulk at Costco.
And after Tyler there, we got Galaxoid, our answer to Ultron. He is an alien life form himself, and he's made up of all gaming parts.
Cool, I get to be the sociopath? Awesome.
Yes. Because, you already are in town of Salem.
Usually, yeah.
Yes, everyone must die no matter who I am, especially if I'm the vigilante. Everybody gets shot.
You only have 3 bullets.
Well, one person gets shot, then me.
Nice. Alright, and then we have Mr. Tony, our answer to Tony Stark. Tony Stark? Tony Stark.
I like that one better.
He's the brother. One convention we should go as Peter Parker and Tony Stark, because I don't know why we didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's
Or Peter and Tony, damn it. Or we should go as opposites. I'll go as Tony Stark and you go as Peter Parker.
That would be cool.
Fuck with their heads.
Everybody got introduced, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. We could talk about.
I lost you there for a second. I think I had a brain hemorrhage.
Okay.
It blew his mind so much.
Scarlet Witch got Peter.
Yes, she did.
He saw all of the entire podcast members all dead, lying at his feet.
No!
Whoa.
No, not Tyler. He was the best of us.
And it was all your fault.
Usually. Okay, so what you guys like about the movie?
Alright, I could go first. I like the self-awareness of its silliness. Because, I don't know, it's just superhero movies are starting to become more and more kind of this, Christopher Nolan's version of Batman, where Gotham is like a real city. So they're trying to, I like the fact this one's separating itself and it's kind of in that vein of Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's just kind of, it's okay to be silly and goofy and kind of explore that theme a little bit.
It doesn't take itself too seriously, like Man of Steel, cough cough.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
We can't even call him Superman. What's the S stand for? We should call you blah blah blah. But yeah, I totally agree. The humor was definitely really, really good in this one.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was a really funny movie.
Alright, nice. Anyone else? Bullet points of what is good.
Just to expand on what Tony was saying about it not taking itself too seriously, I thought the opening sequence was so quintessentially comic booky. I just love that. And I was just sitting in the theater thinking, it is so cool that we're living in a time when these big budget Hollywood movies are starting to emulate, just this corny over the top. And, they had the slow motion shot with the whole team there.
Yeah.
That was just awesome. I loved it. It was great.
Everybody line up and picture. It was definitely
really
Jim Lee moment there, right, with the Hulk in the front,
So I was confused. I thought they had the staff at the end of the Avengers, but I guess they lost it somehow? How'd that happen?
That was the gist of it when they were talking. Yeah, we've been looking for this ever since, since the Battle of New York, so
But
they lost it.
They turned off the portal with the staff.
Right. Then somebody stole it.
Somebody set it down, and then they couldn't find it. And they lost their keys keys in their wallet as well.
They left it on a
Go into
bench in the
that.
shawarma shop.
Well, these are very irresponsible superheroes, I have to say.
They didn't talk about it, but Tony Stark couldn't find his phone either.
Hey guys, did you see my phone anywhere? Also, where's Lucky's staff? Oh no.
Damn. Alright.
I really liked Hawkeye in this. Hawkeye was the one that grounded
I agree. That's what I was gonna say. I like that he had an actual role in this. Not that he didn't have a role in the first one, but still.
There was definitely some character development.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed.
He was the everyman. He was us watching the film, you know. He's like, I got a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense, man. So he was definitely like the Han Solo role.
How'd you feel about him, like, and his family and his house and everything? How'd you feel about that stuff?
That was fine. Even though he's in the comic books, he's romantically linked to Adrian Palicki's character, the Mockingbird. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Maybe she is the Mockingbird.
No, Adrian Palicki.
Oh.
Not Linda McCart. But, you know, that's fine. You know, it really, yeah, I enjoyed that.
He gets it on with Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Stop. She's a wonderful person and actor.
Say.
Yes, she is.
Well,
She's from Freaks
no
and
problem
Geeks,
with that.
Oh.
Harley's awesome.
Yeah, she.
The only, I was just gonna say, the only issue I have with Hawkeye getting so much character development in the Avengers movies is that now we know he won't be getting his own movie anytime soon.
You don't think so?
No, I doubt it. I mean, they spent so much time on him in this Avengers. The subtitle should have been, I don't know, Hawkeye.
Features Hawkeye.
Hawkeye expands the dining room or whatever he was talking about. Hawkeye's Home Improvement.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah. So, but we all know why they kind of built his character up, and we'll get to that point later when we talk about that stuff. But yes, I like that. I like that he poked fun of himself at like when Scarlet Witch is about to like invade his mind. He's like, "Nope, I did that already. this movie, I'm not gonna have my mind stolen. Damn it."
Yeah, that was cool. I also like the internal divisions. That was cool, like actually seeing them like fight amongst each other. Like even though they're a bunch of superheroes, they're still like dumb humans who like get into like fist fights.
Right.
So, that was cool.
You got some cameos thrown in there too, especially with Thor's vision. You got the actor who played Luther, who is the overseer or something in Thor.
Hamdale.
Yeah, there you go.
Alba as Hamdale. And
I
so
thought for sure that he would see Jane or something in the vision or something.
Jane never appearing in any Avengers films.
Yeah, now she's busy.
Natalie Portman says no.
So in that sequence, basically what the Scarlet Witch did was like, let's set up the next movies.
It's gonna be Ragnarok. How did she know?
I don't know.
Also, I'll give Thor a clue about the Infinity Stones.
Hey, but we got to see Haley Atwell. That was great, even though she was there for 2 seconds. Peggy! Everybody squealed. Well, I did, but.
Alright, who else had something that they liked about the movie? Miss Felissa?
I liked how their own like stories, they all had something in common, you know, thinking that they were a monster. It was a way of deeming themselves, you know. On a certain website, which shall remain nameless, but it starts with an R, ends with edit. How Black Widow was talking about how she was sterilized, you know, in the Red Room, whatnot, and that makes her less of a person. And it gets like all riled up. Oh, like she's a monster. But what they fail to realize is that was just part of all the things that she went through that made her feel like a monster. And in their own way, they each felt like a monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Know? Except for
they each
Thor.
felt outcasted.
He was worthy, you know.
Yeah. Thor thinks he's badass. Thor and Vision are best friends, apparently. So how'd you feel about the whole romantic situation there with Hulk and Black Widow? Do you think it felt like, all of a sudden it's tacked on, or you think it was actually natural?
I didn't see it coming at all. I mean, you kind of felt like it was coming in the Hulk movie, and they didn't go anywhere with it. You're just like, whatever, it's not happening. And there was not really, I don't know, it felt more like Bruce more uncomfortable with it the whole entire time.
Well, he was. Yes, he was.
It was very plain to see, you know, so I'm just like, okay.
So, who's
That was a waste of time. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of felt
Nothing
like
came out of it.
Right. Well, I think they had to give him reason to. And we'll talk about that later. but I think they had to give him motive. But yeah, Planet Hulk, yeah.
Is he gonna fly to space? Can that jet fly to space? Well,
Okay,
he's Bruce Banner.
Underwater though, right?
Okay, I was gone for 2 seconds, and we're talking about the Hulk. So
Yeah,
did we
actually,
make fun of him, or about him?
So basically, at the very end of the movie, Hulk decides to not rejoin the Avengers, and it's the Hulk. It's not Bruce Banner. He's still in Hulk form. He decides to fly the plane to who knows where.
Even though the plane should have fallen because of the weight, but
He looked like a toddler,
big fat
like,
Hulk
sitting
ass.
there. a grown ass man sitting in like one of those toddler houses, the little playhouses and stuff.
Exactly, like Michael Clark Duncan in like a Austin Mini or something.
That just made me think maybe he couldn't get out, so he's like, "Ah, fuck, let's just go somewhere."
I'll just sit down now. Hulk, sit down.
So while that may have been comical, Bruce Banner's personality and all his intelligence is in the Hulk, and I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna talk normal now because he can in Hulk form. He just doesn't choose to.
Yeah.
Well, correct
Like
me if
toddler.
I'm wrong, and I might be wrong, but if he spends more time as the Hulk, doesn't the Hulk get a little more conscious?
I don't know. That's a good point, but maybe.
That's what I was theorizing. Like, he might start talking if he stays the Hulk for long enough. But yeah, I was just totally expecting what would make it perfect for me is they started playing the sad Hulk music, would just make it.
Oh my gosh, the Bill Bixby piano. Yeah.
Yeah.
missed opportunities.
So basically, Hulk goes away because Ultron pretty much tries to separate the whole team. And Hulk goes away, who I guess he doesn't want to endanger the team or endanger Black Widow or something like that. So he flies away.
And then Iron Man goes away.
Isn't it kind of
Iron
funny
Man goes away.
Thor goes away.
Thor goes back to start Ragnarok, I guess.
Yeah. And then
Now, does
we have
anybody
new
follow the
Avengers.
Thor comics? What is Ragnarok? If anybody summarized
Oh,
that,
I can
someday?
look it up real fast. I'm kind of trying to keep myself spoiler free, so I don't know what to expect. But Ragnarok is in Norse mythology. Ragnarok is the battle to end all battle that happens at the end of the world.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be big.
It'll be very big.
So basically,
We'll go down.
The Yggdrasil implosion, the Tree of Life implosion, all realms converging, something like that.
Oh, okay. So Ragnarok is actually a character. He's a clone of Thor.
What?
Oh.
A cyborg clone. A cyborg
What?
clone of Thor. Okay, I'm not going to read anymore because that sounds really interesting, and I don't
I
want
already dealt with
to
Ultron.
know what's going to happen in the movie.
Oh no, it's Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, I hope so much they won't do it, but that would be so cool.
That
He
gets
was in
into
there.
Green Lantern territory. He'll
Yeah.
probably weird on screen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Hey, they made Rocket Raccoon work, so
True.
Yeah,
I
they can
think
do anything.
Beta Ray Bill, they could do it.
He's full with the horse face.
Speaking of cyborgs, how'd you guys feel about Ultron?
He looked like the cartoon.
He did. He
Yeah.
really
A
did.
lot like the cartoon. It was kind of like, oh my god, I've done this before,
I love he had little facial expressions here and there, like his bottom lip would be protrude out more than his top lip when he's saying shit.
At first, I thought he was like made of some kind of liquid metal or something, but then when they showed close-up shots, you could see it was all little individual moving parts.
Mhm.
And I feel like it almost made him a little too emotive, so he didn't look as scary as he could have.
I kind of liked it because he was
But he
sort of
would've-
just born.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point.
he's like a big baby almost.
Well, I think it had a lot of personality that came to Tony, so I think it came off. In this
Yeah, he had a lot of personality.
Mhm.
Lounge King. I felt the whole time. Every time he cracked a joke, he's like, thank you, I'll be here all week. Yeah,
Yeah, he got to the jokes before Tony did.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so what do I do?
I was literally just gonna say that.
That works in the context of the movie, but for me, I didn't like this version of Ultron. I like the menacing kind of just helmet version of Ultron. I don't know. It was too human for me. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
was he supposed to be like a freaking what's that guy's called? Oh, I'm blanking on the name. The Silver Surfer enemy, the Eater of Worlds. Is he supposed to be like that? What's that guy's name?
Galactus?
Galactus. Yeah.
No,
Was
I
he
mean,
supposed to
if
be
you-
like that kinda?
No, if you look him up in the comic books and everything, he's just like a head with a voice, like a helmet with a voice. He
Oh, he's
doesn't really
literally just
move.
a floating head.
No, I mean his face is just like a helmet with a voice.
Ah.
He has no expressions whatsoever.
Huh.
But I don't know. I could have did with just a little bit less jokes, like I said before the podcast, just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, so that takes us to our next question. What you didn't like about it? And Galaxoid didn't like it was too jokey.
Although,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, some of the joke parts were, in my opinion, some of the strongest parts. The party that they have in the beginning, that was one of the best parts of the movie for me, because it was so funny, and it just, everybody, it was just seeing the heroes in a non-heroic environment, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Well, so where did it get too much for you, Galaxoid?
No, well, I appreciated the party scene. I mean, that's just like the, Joss Whedon and anything in Serenity. The best moments in Serenity is when they're all sitting at the kitchen table. But,
Yes.
It would have to be when they're in the South African boat, and he says, "Well, I'm just going to tell you all about my evil plan," and then he starts fighting. I'm like, yeah, that's almost Pixar-ish,
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's Disney now. It's Disney, so, I kind of liked the one part I liked about that scene was when he cuts off the arm of Andy Serkis. He was like, "Oh shit, sorry, but really, I'm not Tony Stark."
Right, and I think it was that whole scene that I was like, all right, he's devolving into I don't know.
Cartoon buffoonery.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he was crazy. It was kind of like he doesn't know his own strength, and he's emotionally volatile.
Oh, now someone has to take that action sequence and right after that, cue in the Benny Hill music. That'd be awesome.
One thing I didn't like about it was it almost seemed as if they were building up to the death Hawkeye, and when nothing really came of it. Well, I mean, something did come of it, but it just seemed, I don't know, I didn't really like the fact that they let him live, even though that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Fucking Hawkeye should have died.
Yeah, honesty, Tony.
It would have made a much, I don't know, a darker film, a nice little, I don't know, nice, different.
More
Or
poignant.
get seriously wounded or something at least. Again,
here's the
because
thing.
he already got seriously wounded in the
They messed him up in the beginning, the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the one with
Foreshadowing.
the one with the most humanity in the first movie, Agent Coulson, they killed off but brought back. So we know nobody's gonna stay dead, So that impact's kind of gone.
They just have to get Quicksilver to sign another movie deal, and he'll be back.
Right. So basically what happens is that's my huge main gripe is freaking Quicksilver, who is so freaking awesome. They really did a good job on the characters of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, even though they aren't allowed to say the M word, which is mutants. Instead they call them enhanced. Oh, they got some enhanced running around. Those enhanced people that the freaking Mad Doctor experimented on. And they had their accents, and they're pretty good. Quicksilver was kind of like a Days of Future Past Quicksilver, just not as powerful with the whole stopping of time ability. Instead, he was just really fast. There was some slow motion parts though. But in the end, Hawkeye goes to save a child from a certain floating city. We're gonna call it Columbia, like BioShock. And he's about to get mowed down by Ultron in a jet from machine gun fire as he's trying to protect this child. And Quicksilver, I don't understand why, but instead of, grabbing them as Quicksilver and just moving them out of the way, which Quicksilver should have done, instead Quicksilver decided to, hey, I don't want to be in any other Avengers movies because I got more kick-ass sequels to do. I'm a busy guy. Instead, he just decides to run fast into the line of fire and just take the bullets for him and die instead. So that was my main gripe. I wanted to see that character live and become a new Avenger, but no.
Very odd sequence of death, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you die? Oh, I got killed by Ultron. Oh, what did he do? Choke you to death? No, he's flying a jet and used machine guns.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
He likes to use bullets.
Well, aren't you super fast? Well, I kind of jumped in the way of the blitz.
And they did show that he can get out of breath, and that he's not. They showed that he can get shot when he got accidentally shot by that soldier.
He did seem, I guess they kind of foreshadowed it. He did seem a little, I guess that way he's less powerful than the Quicksilver in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, bullets don't stand still for him.
Yeah, and then he never, in Days of Future Past, he never got tired or anything. He was just always fast, damn it. So yeah, I guess they kind of foreshadowed it. But still, goddamn.
I think for the tension to still be there, they needed to show that his powers were limited. Because I mean, if Quicksilver had stayed with them for all of Days of Future Past, there would have been no challenges because he could have just fixed every problem by moving fast.
Yes, you can do everything. I think that's like in the how it should have ended. They just take Quicksilver along with them on the plane, and he solves everything. But what I would have liked better is after Scarlet Witch actually... Spoilers! This is a spoiler cast, by the way. We changed our thing to we're gonna spoil goddamn everything, because everyone saw it now. In the end, Scarlet Witch rips out Ultron's heart, because he ripped out her heart when he killed freaking Quicksilver. And what I would have liked better was if freaking Scarlet Witch had died there, too, after killing Ultron. That way, like, oh, okay, so we can't use those characters anymore. Maybe they'll show up in the X-Men franchise, but they're not going to be in Avengers anymore. But no, the Vision comes and saves Scarlet Witch, and I guess that's okay. But I think I would have liked it better if she died.
And if you notice, they did a lot of foreshadowing with her, the Vision. Kind of looking up at the Vision, like, oh, hey, he's kind of cool. Yeah, she has his babies.
So yeah, and the next one they get it on, right?
Oh, okay.
How does
that work? Because it doesn't look like the Vision had any reproductive organ.
He's a fully equipped android, man. Don't ask me how it works. Besides, she's a witch. She can alter reality. So what happened in the comic books may or may not have been like the children, may or may not have been actual children or something she created. She has weird freaky powers.
Yeah, sounds like it.
She did the whole House of M thing where I guess she gets into a coma or something, and then like her last like hurrah that she does before she's in a coma, or I don't know why, was there's a whole illusion that every mutant loses their power.
Yep.
And that starts the House of M comics.
Right. She said 3 words: no more mutants, and then there were suddenly like 70% less mutants all over the world.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty damn powerful. Yeah. So what did you guys not like about the movie?
So, I don't know if this is a gripe of the movie or just because of my ignorance of comics, but what I didn't like, they didn't explain anything about that magic swimming pool that Thor went into. Like,
Magic swimming pool?
Yeah, that...
the Thor's... Oh, it was just
right.
It was a place of power or something, wasn't it?
It was just to make him have the vision, or to... It was something to re-enter his dream, or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it has no importance in the comics?
It might be something with Norse mythology or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not explain that, and we need Thor to find out some stuff.
It's called the Waters of Sight.
Yeah, it's called WikiLeaks, actually.
Which, by the way, if you watch the trailer, there was actually a scene cut from there where a girl goes into the pool before Thor. So
really? That's interesting. Yeah. I need to rewatch these trailers now. I like watching trailers more than I watch movies. Is that weird? That's weird. But anyways, so anything else you guys didn't like about it?
No mention of Oscorp or Spider.
Oh yeah.
That'll be later.
I'm inclined to think that Age of Ultron was probably pretty much done by the time the Spider-Man deal happened. So maybe.
But you know what? And that's another gripe I have is freaking no Swarma end credit thing. You wait all that time.
Well, and
Josh, I would have liked was just a little Spider-Man thing just tacked on at the end. Because if it was a later deal, they still could have added on real fast at the end.
That's what I was thinking. Like, just give me like a Spider logo or something.
If they could add in a whole scene from Days of Future Past at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, they could have added in something.
They could have drawn a freaking spider.
A sound effect and a black screen, a thwip and a spider senses are tingling or something, anything.
Right.
Avengers will return.
Or I would have liked maybe some shots of like Ultron or something, like photographed in the newspaper and it's like pictured by Peter Parker.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Just something like that. Little thing. You would.
I would have liked to see Daredevil and Co. sitting in the office with a TV in the corner showing the city flying.
Man, that would be great. It will eventually merge, definitely, because definitely Daredevil is in the universe.
I don't know if he would be much help though. I mean, he seems like he's more geared towards fighting local crime than battling
he's like the
cosmic threats.
He's more like the Batman, yeah.
Without the resources.
Exactly, without the money.
Black Panther's
poor man's Batman.
Yeah, Black Panther's actually rich.
Yes.
Well,
He's got a country.
like a king, right? Yeah.
He's got a country.
Yes, and then the Andy Serkis characters, I guess, is a villain for Black Panther.
Yeah, his name is Claw. That's all I know about him.
So his arm gets cut off and he gets a claw.
He replaces it with a claw.
Y'all need to
fights
watch
Black Panther.
Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Hero. You'll see a lot of good things with Black Panther in that series.
Cool.
So
I was wondering about Andy Serkis' character. I was like, oh, that was very brief.
Yeah, he was a pretty big name to have in such a small role, so I was confused too until I found that
He
out.
signed a deal. I'll be in the next movie called
And since we're spoiling everything, there was the final giant middle finger to the fans when at the very end when Captain America says Avengers, and then getting the assembled
Talk about blue balls, man.
and I guess Tony was saying right after, he's like, God damn it.
in Britain, the movie is, or in the UK, the movie is called Avengers Assemble, so that must have seemed really bizarre to them.
That's great. It's not called Age of Ultron at all?
No, I don't think so. Or maybe it is. Maybe it still has.
That's interesting.
well, the original was called Avengers Assemble, yeah, but
Oh, it was? Oh, okay. I thought.
The first one.
Okay. So they don't care. They've already got their symbol.
Avengers, gather around. What's the word around?
We don't have to say Avengers symbol. We have Stan Lee saying Excelsior.
That's true.
That was one of the funniest Stan Lee cameos we've had. I think that was great.
Yeah.
What's a good word, Brendan? There. Everyone, huddle up. Come together. There you go.
So in that scene, we got a glimpse of the new Avengers, which are looking a lot like the Avengers West Coast, by the way.
Yes.
So what's the roll call? Pete, do the roll call, or Tony, do the roll call.
Yeah, Tony, do the roll. Avengers Assemble. You say it now. You get to say it.
I can't.
Avengers. Damn it. Same thing. Maybe that's what happened to Captain America.
Wait. Quick question though. Does this mean that the next movie is going to be called anything different than Avengers, like the new Avengers or Avengers West?
Maybe Avengers. Yeah, maybe.
Is because I'm confused because I thought the Avengers was his original group. So.
Right. I would hope the next one leads up to the Civil War or something. I hope something happens.
I think I'm much more confused after watching this movie because I don't know.
Right.
There's a lot more questions I have now.
Yeah.
Well, the Avengers West Coast was Vision.
Sorry. We got off track.
A U.S. agent, by the way, which is sociopathic Captain America. Hawkeye was in it, and of course, a couple other ones like, all the roles, after a while. But like, for one time there was Wonder Man was on it. But yeah, it was this War Machine, basically had the B team. It had like instead of Captain America, they had U.S. Agent. Hey, instead of Iron Man, let's have War Machine.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain to Tony. So he was like, "Hey, what's War Machine's deal?" He was supposed to be more badass than Iron Man, a little more cruel, and like Trey said, a little more sociopathic. But if they do a U.S. Agent, I hope he is a little more badass than Captain America.
War Machine was always supposed to be the Iron Man with like a higher arsenal level, Tony Stark looks like he's cooler in the film when actuality in the comics War Machine was like really freaking cool.
Yes. Yeah, and there's also Avengers East Coast, but I don't know if we will ever see that because that'd be awesome.
Did we do the new roll call yet?
Yes, we did. Trey did it real fast.
Oh, okay.
Vision, Scarlet Witch, Falco Punch. Which, you know what, I thought when, in the movie, in Age of Ultron, when they were like, oh, let's bring out War Machine, I thought they would bring out the Falcon, too, but he didn't come out.
Yeah,
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, Mr.
But I guess he would kind of be inefficient against all the freaking guys, because he's a little more vulnerable than War Machine.
Yeah, I think he could have done something. I mean, you got friggin' Hawkeye and Black Widow running around on the ground. I think.
Yeah, just
yeah, no kidding.
Falcon would have been okay.
We're in a floor city. I got bow and arrows. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I can play.
I wonder if the Captain settled his fences with the Soldier, or if they're just gonna kind of disregard that and continue on in the next movie.
I don't know. You think Captain is gonna get another movie?
Oh yeah, Civil War.
Civil War.
The next Captain America movie is Civil War.
They set that up pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
a Captain America movie and not an Avenger movie.
Yeah. So it will be happening in next year, I believe.
And expect
Okay.
Spider-Man in that.
Well,
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, because, I mean, I know that's what's going to happen, but that's my correction of it, actually, and that's what I was saying earlier, is that I'm more confused because if the way they're going now, they want to introduce Spider-Man as an Avenger in the next movie, that doesn't make sense to me, because...
Spider-Man, the new Avenger is the rumored tagline.
But none of that makes any sense, because they haven't even introduced him, so are they
Right.
just going to show him as like a full-grown adult already? Where I heard rumors on the internet they were going to try and go for a more younger Spidey.
Wait, is that verified? The next Avengers is not gonna. Well, it's not gonna be called Spider-Man. You're just joshing, right?
No, that's a rumor floating around out there.
I don't believe that rumor.
It's not confirmed, but yeah.
We got
that was-
Infinity War coming up, so wherever Spider-Man shows up, he's gonna be an ancillary character, and it's probably gonna be Civil War. So
Okay.
that's what I think it is.
That's a good prediction. Yeah, so
And
again,
I
definitely.
agree. I totally agree that that's probably what's going to end up happening, but I'm saying, like, how it's going to actually function, it doesn't
Would
make
that work better with his timeline? Because if he does start out as a kid, would that give him enough time to be an adult for a Civil War?
Civil War first, though.
Well, how old was he in Civil War though? He was 18, wasn't
No, he was,
he? In the comic books.
and yeah, in Civil War, wasn't he, like, at least in his 20s? Like,
No, he's very young in Civil War. He was extremely young.
And then why did they make a big deal about him just taking off his mask? Like, how long had he kept his identity?
Well, hasn't he been Spider-Man since like high school?
Yeah.
And that's where the other one's going to start. Again, we're starting over again.
The reboot of the reboot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with Tony, and I would definitely like it better if it was just Andrew Garfield just in there. We already had it. Just let's keep going.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But no, I want to do it my way.
I don't know how many more origin stories I can take.
Yeah, no kidding. Everyone, you know what would be good is if it was just a new Spider-Man, and then it wasn't an origin story at all, and then it just got straight into the action. That would be acceptable.
Well, has it been confirmed that they are redoing the origin story?
I don't
No,
know.
so maybe they don't. They won't.
Yeah,
It comes down to that statement that they released when they first said, "Hey, Spider-Man in some form will be in the Marvel's MCU." You know.
Yeah.
And it really, the way it was worded specifically, sounded like it could have been not Peter
Garfield.
Parker. And it was definitely not going to be Andrew Garfield the way it was worded.
Yeah.
But it sounded like it might not even be Peter Parker. So
Miles Morales.
yeah,
That would be cool.
Oh
but
my gosh.
I doubt they'll do it.
they need to do Peter Parker, and yeah, I think everybody can agree. Yeah, I would love to see Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Well, and Sony's gonna just keep releasing their Spider-Man movies and kind of try to ride on the coattails of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and hope they confuse audiences, which they probably will, because they'll have Marvel's Spider-Man and then the Amazing Spider-Man 3.
And just to get on that little X-Men kick real fast, even though like Hugh Jackman doesn't have anything to do with making the movies himself, in an interview he was asked, so would the X-Men ever join the Marvel franchise? And he said, 3 years ago, if you would have asked me the same question, I would have said no, but since all the Sony and Spider-Man thing is happening, then I would say maybe I would look forward to it too.
Oh golly!
But,
You know what?
That's just Hugh Jackman saying that, so that's...
I think we could all agree that if Wolverine showed up in the MCU, I want a new Wolverine. Hugh Jackman.
You think
I'm
so?
on board. Yeah, I'm done with Hugh Jackman.
Like a
Andrew
short
jacked out.
person.
That's true, huh?
Hey, does anybody need to see my bare ass? Can I show that on screen again?
I'm gonna
here
shoot
it
it
is.
again. Whenever he
What are
does
we looking at?
whenever he writes a contract for a movie deal, it's like, how many times do you get to see my naked posterior? It has to be at least 2.
That's like on his writer, you know, along with like M&Ms or something.
Anyways. Okay, so last thing I will talk about is how'd you guys feel about the Vision? Do you think adding him was like too much, too many new superheroes, or did you think he worked out pretty good? thoughts. I think I saw it coming kind of a mile away because I knew. Well, obviously the actor who played Jarvis was going to play him, so I knew it was going to be Jarvis in some form. Like I thought, not like how it happened where like Jarvis was just inside Ultron all along. I thought Jarvis would be dead and outside and just like rebuild himself and then become the Vision or something.
It kind of played out like how I thought it was. The Vision was going to be created as a super weapon, but I didn't know it was going to be Ultron's super weapon. Although in the comic books, yeah, kind of is what happened. Vision is with Ultron at first. But anyways, it kind of played out the way I thought it. The Vision got loaded up with Jarvis somehow. So yeah.
And isn't in the comics? I think Tony was saying this too. Isn't he created by Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ultron was.
Yeah, Ultron, yeah.
Oh, Ultron is created by Ant-Man, not the Vision too, or are they both created by him?
Well, isn't Vision created by Ultron?
Well,
I see.
definitely had a hand in creating Ultron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Ultron created Vision, and then Vision created Archangel, and Archangel created Apocalypse. Inception. Marvel.
Those last two jumps were not true. You just did
Then Archangel created a pie.
Oh yeah, sorry, probably. Forget I said anything about Archangel.
Okay, so Hank Pym created Ultron, and Ultron did indeed create the Vision.
Okay. Alright. Well, so it is kind of similar.
Yeah.
Kind of a little off. That's interesting.
But the rumors were true that he did get an Infinity Stone in his head. They kept on, if you were spoiling yourself, they kept on popping up the pictures of some kind of gem in his head, and it was accurate to the comic, but they're like, oh, that's an Infinity Stone. And it was correct. It was the Mind Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And is it not an Infinity Stone in the comic, or is it?
No, he just got a jewel in his head, man.
It's just a jewel. Oh yeah, that's a good tie-in then.
It's a bendy.
He's
He's actually an Indian lady.
Any other thoughts about the Vision? Sort of his powers, or how he's portrayed, like his acting.
I'm just happy Paul Bettany got a chance to play like an actual live role instead of doing voiceover work.
I thought he looked pretty good, all things considered. I mean, there were a couple scenes where I'm assuming he was a mixture of CG and makeup.
Yes.
But there were a couple scenes where you just can't tell, so it was pretty visually impressive.
They mixed it well.
Yeah, I thought that did.
It was accurate to the Vision in the comic book as far as his humanity level.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been like that, And
Right.
I wouldn't mind if he just stayed like red and naked all the time, like Dr. Manhattan, because in that post
Except
I had
without a penis.
No penis, please.
in that post I had for Avengers West Coast a long time ago, U.S. agent is yelling at Vision for being naked all the time. Get some damn clothes on.
That's funny. What I really liked, the part I really liked was the times he used Thor's hammer. Actually picked up Thor's hammer.
Yeah, that was.
Because they see it in the trailer when everyone's trying to pick up the hammer, and then Thor says, "Well, you're not worthy," and then freaking the Vision just takes it up all willy nilly.
That's not believe happened in the comics, by the way, but it was used for a good plot device here. So
yeah. It's like, oh, we can trust him. He can pick up the hammer. And he's like, oh, it's well balanced. Yeah, that way you got the swing going on. Any other thoughts on the Vision? Excited to see him in the next one, maybe.
Yeah, I think he was pretty cool. I'm excited to see all the new Avengers in action. It's because it is like we've seen a lot of Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America.
Yes.
Right.
Now it's Thor.
New people.
Yeah, it's like we need
some minorities up in this piece. That's
very true. Yeah,
exactly.
It's very refreshing to see that thing.
We
they got
a
woman.
Oh, you got Black Widow.
They got a couple people of color. But yeah, that was one woman on all the Avengers, and they had
Scarlet Witch
agent,
now.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch and the agent whose name I can't remember, but she's not really part of the Avengers. She's just part of S.H.I.E.L.D. So she's
S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. So yeah, they should definitely do like a Miss Marvel next. That'd be awesome. What was I gonna say?
And
something.
they will. Hopefully, they pick a good person to be Carol Danvers. I'm really looking forward to that casting.
Yeah. So I feel like DC needs to play some catch up now here, because I feel like
hell yeah, they do.
Feel like the Vision is kind of the Martian Manhunter of the Marvel.
Yeah.
I got that mixed up, but he's basically a Martian Manhunter, and pretty much if
when he came out, yeah.
If you ever read the first Justice League comic book or even watched the animated show, he kind of plays the Martian Manhunter plays a similar role that like Vision does in this one, where they were like, "Oh, can we trust him or not?" And then like, "Oh yeah, I guess we can trust him."
Did he pick up Superman's
So that'd
hammer?
be interesting. He picks up Superman's penis. No,
But Superman's hammer is his father's hammer, so anyone can pick that up.
But he has a Martian Manhunter has similar, even a similar look. He's green and has a cape, and he flies around like Superman. He can phase through shit like freaking the Vision can phase through shit. It's all very similar, and like Marvel did it first here with Age of Ultron. So
is Martian
DC
Manhunter
needs
even
to catch up now.
Is Martian Manhunter confirmed to be in the DC movies?
Well, you have to.
You
That's
have to.
the storyline of how the Justice League got together.
Okay.
He's part of it. He's part of the farming.
So just to declare it though, Martian Manhunter showed up in 1955 and Division showed up in 1960 something. So now it's swapped over. So the movie-going public will think if Manhunter shows up in any DC form in the films, they're just ripping off that Paul Bettany guy.
Yeah, exactly. They're just ripping off the Vision. It's crazy. Marvel did it first now. Okay, any last comments before we end?
I'm gonna say I believe that. Oh wait, no, that joke won't work. No, okay, yeah, actually, so Jurassic World is actually taking place in the Marvel universe, and Chris Pratt's character, that's his superpower. Chris Pratt's gonna be playing two people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. His superpower is
Star-Lord and talk to raptors.
Dino Man. I don't know. That's just Raptor Man or
Raptor Man. Raptor Man / Star-Lord.
So you heard it here first. When the Jurassic Park movies turn into superhero movies, this is where it started.
Well, I wouldn't put it past them if they can make aliens.
They have to make that work.
Well, I mean, if they can make 22 Jump Street and Men in Black work.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That's
interesting. That is interesting.
So I don't put it past them.
So yeah, I forgot to ask. So I think on the whole, we enjoyed Age of Ultron. It's a good movie. Everyone should go see it. But I forgot to ask, do you guys think it's better than the first Avengers?
No.
No.
Tony says no. Val says no. Trey says no. Tyler?
I think I need to watch it again, because the first time I watched the first Avengers, I really, really liked it. We had a great time in the theater and everything. Man. And then when I watched it again at home, it didn't strike me the same way as it did first time around.
Really?
Yeah, it was so much action and everything, and it just didn't. So I think I need to see Age of Ultron again before I can render my final verdict.
I agree. I probably need to see Ultron again. But the first Avengers I have rewatched so many times, and I'm not sure if I'll rewatch Ultron as many times as I watched the first Avengers.
Very true.
For some reason, I felt Ultron was a little slower.
Yeah.
The whole last half of Ultron is just perfect, but I think it was kind of slow getting there. So, like, those parts I might not like when I rewatch them.
It was hard to play catch up to the first one. The first one had, for me, a lot of like open mouth smile moments where I was totally geeking out and doing the Ren and Stimpy like. I didn't really get that. It was just more like, okay, cool, okay, weird, all right, cool, okay, weird, okay, cool. You know?
Right. Yeah, I agree. But it's still a good movie, and even though Ultron's a buffoon. That's all, folks. Alright, so, I guess that's gonna be it here from us at Zombies to Aliens, where we like you for your brains. Good night, everybody. Or good evening.
Kind of explore that theme a little bit.
It doesn't take itself too seriously, like Man of Steel, cough cough.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Can't even call him Superman. What's the S stand for? We should call you blah blah blah. But yeah, I totally agree. The humor was definitely really, really good in this one.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was a really funny movie.
Alright, nice. Anyone else? Bullet points of what is good.
Just to expand on what Tony was saying about it not taking itself too seriously, I thought the opening sequence was so quintessentially comic booky. I just love that. And I was just sitting in the theater thinking, it is so cool that we're living in a time when these big budget Hollywood movies are starting to emulate, just this corny over the top. And, they had the slow motion shot with the whole team there.
Yeah.
That was just awesome. I loved it. It was great.
Everybody line up and picture. There's definitely
really
Jim Lee moment there, right, with the Hulk in the front. Yeah.
So I was confused. I thought they had the staff at the end of the Avengers, but I guess they lost it somehow? How'd that happen?
That was the gist of it.
Welcome to Zombies to Aliens. This is a special podcast where we're going to be talking about Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, we were going to have it spoiler-free. Yes, we can add Ultrons. But now, we're going to spoil the freaking heck out of it, because everyone saw it, and we're just going to spoil it because we can't stop talking about it already. So with me, as always, is Miss Valissa Valen. Our answer to She-Hulk. How about that?
She-Hulk. Okay, I guess so.
I couldn't think of any women Marvel characters.
I know, right? Welcome to my world.
Jean Grey, I guess. I like Jean Grey. Miss Marvel. I hope they make a Miss Marvel movie eventually.
We need some black women in Marvel.
Eat Storm.
Yeah, but
that's one. There we go. ...
That's one. Yeah.
Yeah, Parker and Tony Stark, because I don't know why we didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's
Or Peter and Tony, damn it. Or we should go as opposites. I'll go as Tony Stark and you go as Peter Parker.
That would be cool.
Fuck with the heads.
Everybody got introduced, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We could talk about.
I lost you there for a second. I think I had a brain hemorrhage.
Okay.
It blew his mind so much.
Scarlet Witch got Peter.
Yes, she did.
He saw all of the entire podcast members all dead, lying at his feet.
No!
Whoa.
No, not Tyler. He was the best of us.
And it was all your fault.
Usually. Okay, so what'd you guys like about the movie?
Alright, I could go first. I like the self-awareness of its silliness. Because, I don't know, superhero movies are starting to become more and more kind of this, Christopher Nolan's version of Batman, where Gotham is like a real city. So they're trying to, I like the fact that this one's separating itself and it's kind of in that vein of Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's just kind of, it's okay to be silly and goofy. And
Anyways, okay, so after Miss Melissa is Mr. Tyler, our answer to Bruce Banner.
Yay. Or, I mean, Tyler Smash.
You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
I need a lullaby now.
Yes.
He buys his pants in bulk at Costco.
And after Tyler there, we got Galaxoid, our answer to Ultron. He is an alien life form himself, and he's made up of all gaming parts.
Cool, I get to be the sociopath? Awesome.
Yes. Yes. Because, you already are in town of Salem.
Usually, yeah.
Yes, everyone must die no matter who I am, especially if I'm the vigilante. Everybody gets shot.
But you only have 3 bullets.
Well, one person gets shot, then me.
Nice. Alright, and then we have Mr. Tony, our answer to Tony Stark.
Tony.
You know,
Tony
Stark? Tony Stark.
I like that one better.
He's the brother. You know, one convention we should go as Peter Parker.